Are you with JMPR?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Cool.
Hey, Jimbo, I'm Adam.
Jimbo.
Nice to meet you, Jimbo.
Cool.
Awesome. All right. So, do you want to set up here or?
Yeah, we can do here.
So the two things we'll focus on are we got a new 8000 to Trizac, a new one-step polish, and we got this new tape that you could actually buff around it, buff on it versus a paper tape.
Okay.
So we can talk through these two tables, or if you set up centrally, or however.
No, we can. I'm just gonna record it this way, and so whenever you want to start, we'll get going.
So you, just with cameras like this, you don't want to do anything.
Is the audio gonna be okay on that? Should be good.
Okay. So let's start over there.
Let's start over here.
We need to get the film too.
No, I'm meeting a guy here. So you just want me to kind of give you the spiel?
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
do it how you do.
Right. So we've had finishing film for quite some time. I'm good for now. We have the Trizac 3000. Probably familiar with it. We've had it out since early 2000s.
Yep.
Just recently here in July, we launched the 8000. So now the finest grain abrasive on the market.
Because a lot of detailers, instead of doing a multi-step paint correction, will do even like a 3000 as their first step, and then finish out with a one-step polish. But an 8000, that's even
so when
potentially
I
better,
started showing
right?
this to some detailers out there, they got really excited because they don't want to go deep. They just want to take the minor stuff out.
Exactly.
And so 3000's been an okay option for them, but 8000's even better. So you can do a multi-step if you want to do 3000 to 8000. A lot of the detail world uses random orbital polishers too, and so we know that those don't have as much cut as a rotary.
Right.
And so if you're going even further,
better.
so now you have a better chance with your random orbital as well.
Do you have a piece of it?
Oh, 8000, yeah. So you can compare the 3000.
And this is a wet or dry sand?
Damp. So we spritz it with some water, a water bottle, that kind of thing.
Right. So they're both super fine, but
absolutely. So we have the patent technology around coating onto a foam like we do, and so we really truly do have the best finish on the market because everything's moving independently.
Right.
And then with that 8000 launch, we launched the new one step. So we realized that a lot of guys don't like compounding.
Right.
It's a pain for them, and so to take out the wool pads, to take out the really coarse foam pads, we're able to kind of come out with a finishing material which is more like a polish, but gives you enough cut to pull out an 8000. So it's kind of like cheating the system. We're going a little bit further with the abrasives, and now we're able to polish faster.
Got it. Wow. So you could really just team these two up and get an incredible finish.
The detailing world, that would be the two that they worked with only. For sure. We have PDR guys that want to do paintless dent repair as well.
Yes.
They don't want to put nasty scratches in or do anything like that, so they've actually liked this system as well for the 3-step.
Does it come in any smaller than this?
3-inch and 5-inch.
Got it. Yep. Okay. Awesome.
Pretty standard.
So headlights
sizes.
and got it. And then how does this compare to?
Yeah. So if you look at our normal 1, 2, 3 system that we have.
Let's go over there.
Standard collision today. If you looked at our best practice SOPs, we have a rubbing compound, a machine polish, and then an ultra fine machine polish. A 3-step makes it easy because the cap matches the pads, and it's real simple, as simple as we can make it.
Got it. Is the cap thing new or no?
It's a couple of years ago. Yeah. We want to make it simple, so you got the 3, the 2, the 1. But in the whole scheme of things, the new 1-step is kind of between the 1 and the 2. Is really where it comes down to. It still gives you a really good finish. Some what?
Filling capability?
No, we don't want to fill because we don't want to lie to the guys when they're buffing. They don't want to have it come back the next day and say, "Oh, crap! Now I got buff again."
Okay.
So really, we try to minimize any filling we can. We realize these are minerals with water and oils. It's going to fill to a certain extent.
Sure.
But we're not intentionally trying to fill.
Got it.
A wax is something that you maybe put onto fill.
Is there any protection built into that?
No, nothing from a UV perspective or a water beading, that kind of thing. It's just it's sheerly a finishing material, to polish scratches out.
Got it. Very interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure body shops too are loving that, right?
Absolutely. They hate this step.
Right.
And if we can remove that compounding step,
got it.
They're really and the guy that works in the body shop that does the buffing is usually the least experienced. And so if you're giving him a heavy cut compound on a wool pad, he's likely to burn through and have other issues. So definitely digging this.
Very cool. Interesting. That's brand new too. I love that. That's super cool. And then you release some tape on top of that?
Real quick. Just what's cool about the tape, and it could be for the detailing world, is that it's a polyback tape. generally speaking, when you look at tapes, they're paperbacked.
Right.
This is pretty common in the industry.
So they get wet and they're kind of a nightmare.
Yeah,
like,
they fall
especially
apart when they get wet.
If
So
you're doing a
this
headlight restoration, it sucks and all that.
Right. Yeah, so if you're doing anything with coatings or anything with liquids with a tape, this polyback tape is going to be much better for that because it's going to hold up to any liquids. You can put this stuff outside for 7 days in the rain, and it's going to remove cleanly. So you can imagine as your water sanding. So if this was $5, this would be about $5.50. So it's about 5-10%, somewhere in there. Not a big leap. Everything else that's cool with it is that it has clean tear lines, so it's a snap tear. No other tape really does that. So when you tear a tape, generally speaking, it's going to be all rigid.
Right.
So you can actually use that flat edge to mask somewhere if you needed to, which is really cool. It also has indicator lines, so if you're...
So is that what you're seeing when you rip
Yeah,
it
those
apart?
are kind of the tear lines.
Got it.
If you're doing any intricate bends, it actually tell you if you're stretching it too far. You don't want to see that. So we tell technicians, if you see that, pull it back. Make sure you're not stretching it.
I didn't know that you could like revolutionize tape.
Right.
So much.
100 years later, we're still working on tape,
How many
right?
degrees when you paint that car to put the drive
Yeah,
through?
all the way from fine lines up
But it's
to
super,
thick.
but it is super flexible.
It is.
Got it. And it comes in all the
All the way
sizes?
from 1/8 inch up to the big 2-inch. So yeah, anywhere in between. Those are your extremes there. A lot of technicians are really excited about this tape just because it allows them to do things that they didn't realize they could do with tape.
Yeah, it's super frustrating. I know for detailers, like whether you're compounding, right, and you're going over the tape line with your buffer, and eventually it wears down, or you start melting the adhesive.
So
or
there's a
whatever.
good visual of that. If
Got
you're
it.
sanding, for example, next to a
this
paper
always
tape,
freaking happens.
just strip. But this is going to hold up really well, definitely to buffing.
Right.
Down to maybe at 400, but anything coarser, you're going to shred anything.
Yeah, of course. And detailers never go that low. But
Absolutely.
it's always frustrating when you have it taped off and then you're eating up the tape, melting the adhesive, and then you got that adhesive mess, and it's always a nightmare.
Lays a little flatter, so it does actually feel stickier when you have it, but it'll definitely always clean removal.
Got it.
So it's not going to move around on you and things like that.
That's super cool. So it's technically easier to rip.
Easier to rip. Well, it takes about a half a roll of practice, in my opinion.
Got it. But it
You
gives
got
you
it
a
right
cleaner
there.
line.
Yeah, it's a really clean line. There's a little bit of a technique. So if you pull slowly, it's not going to tear nice.
Got it.
So you got to kind of get that nice snap.
But it gives you a really nice, clean line. Is it going to come out in any other colors, or is it color specific on purpose?
We do everything, you'll see in our top tier and 3M and collision side, everything purple is top tier.
Got it.
So see in our abrasives, you'll see in some of the pads and things like that, purple's top tier.
I actually didn't think I'd be super excited about tape, but I think I'm like, that's really cool.
It's a new
It's
kind
just
of-
like a frustration that you've had to take for what it is. Like, all right, the tape does that, whatever. I'll just work around it, or something like that.
And now that we're putting wipes and coatings on headlights too, it's nice to have something
100%,
that can
yes.
really not penetrate through the tape.
Well, and when you think about headlight restoration, if you're doing the sanding or wet sand, dry sand, damp sand, whatever, you got kind of a mess going. The last thing
Gets
you
all
want
soggy.
is it gets all soggy. The tape sucks. You're not done with the headlight restoration, and your tape's gone, and it's just a nightmare.
It's
totally
always
sucks.
good to have this around a detail
Got
shop
it.
just for those situations, right?
Do they sell them in? Is everything individual? Like each roll is individual, or do they sell like a kit with multi?
So we have kind of in two areas. In your retail segment, you can buy individual rolls, and then your professional segment, you would have a case of like a sleeve of rolls.
But this is professional and consumer,
Yep.
so you'll be able to get this at
You get
Pet
it-
Boys, O'Reilly's, whatever.
yeah.
Okay,
As well as Amazon.
Amazon.
Yep.
But, yeah.
Taking over.
That's awesome. I'm super excited about that. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, that's
That was
the
awesome.
two biggest ones.
Cool.
It's nice
I
meeting you.
appreciate it. Yeah, you too.
You have a good day.
Yeah, you too.